Yo, so David Lemieux, believe it or not, is still at it once again. This time he's actually accusing Billy Joe Saunders of being very lucky because the only reason he lost that fight was because he had an injured shoulder. What I find weird about that is when he first got schooled by Billy Joe Saunders, his complaint was my right hand was hurt. Either it was injured or something. He was talking about his hand, like he had a hand injury. Well, a week and a half later, now he's talking about that it wasn't his right hand, it was actually his shoulder. He went into the fight with a shoulder injury. So, what is it? Did he hurt his right hand during the fight? Or did he go into the fight with a pre-existing injury to his shoulder? I had no idea that David Lemieux was such a sore loser, because that's really what he is. He's keep coming up with excuses as to why he lost or got humiliated, I would rather say, to Billy Joe Saunders. He just keep coming up with excuses. It wasn't his night. He broke his hand, therefore he couldn't really throw his punches with full effect because he was feeling pain on his hand. His shoulder, he went into the fight with an injured shoulder, therefore he couldn't throw his hooks. I don't know about you guys, but if you look at the fight, he was trying to throw hooks. At no point, because sometimes when a fighter has like an injured shoulder or injured arm, you could tell that he's injured because he'll show it in the ring. For example, when David Haye, when he busted his Achilles heel, you know, he was in a lot of pain in that fight, you know. Even Floyd with the Jr., when Mayweather, when he was young, I remember you saw several fights of him where he will literally break his wrist and you will see him in agony and pain. And he will fight the whole fight like that with an injured hand. But you would see the pain in his face and the expression. I didn't see no pain in the expression of David Lemieux. I didn't see him, you know, withering in pain from an injured shoulder. What I saw is him being frustrated because he was too flat-footed and he was too slow and he couldn't catch up with Billy Joe Saunders' work. He has to just accept the fact that he got schooled. He's against Billy Joe Saunders, and he would always get schooled. He needs to accept that. This whole idea that he had a broken, injured shoulder, injured hand, or it wasn't his night, that's all just excuses, you know. And it's funny because in the same article he's talking about, oh, I don't want to come up with excuses. Well, you came up with at least 3 excuses already, Mr. Lemieux. You said that it wasn't your night, then you said your hand was broken. Now you're talking about that your shoulder, you went in there with a pre-existing injury. What are you talking about? But before the fight, you were very confident. You were saying you were gonna destroy Billy Joe Saunders. You weren't talking about no pre-existing injury. And during the fight, at no point did I see you get injured in that fight. At no point did I see you in wither in pain. Matter of fact, he barely was able to catch Billy Joe Saunders because Billy Joe Saunders was so fast with his reflexes and especially his footwork that he couldn't catch it. Whatever he would throw, like a loop and hook, because that's the only punch that David Lemieux has is those hooks. He couldn't land. But you know, apparently what we found out in the aftermath of this fight is not only that David Lemieux is very limited, not only that he could get schooled by a guy who knows how to fight off the back foot, but also that he's a sore loser. When he loses, when he gets schooled, he doesn't give his opponent credit. He doesn't show him no respect. He acts like the guy got lucky. I don't care how many times he was 100. Maybe he's 100%. If they find him, and he wants a rematch too, you're not gonna get a rematch. He doesn't deserve a rematch. That wasn't a competitive fight. Who wants to see a rematch? So we can see it'll be the exact same outcome. David Lemieux is a sore loser, people. I'm out.